I just want to talk a little bit about the concept of a korban, right? Because we haven't had korbanot here for a long time. Thank God we still have Birkat Kohanim, which we do, which is virtually the only thing left from the temple. But for the most part, the whole concept of a sacrifice is very foreign to us in terms of an animal, right? So I just want to share something that I learned recently, and that has to do with the act of smicha. Okay, so we know the word smicha because it's something that we use with regards to rabbis. In fact, we don't have smicha today with rabbis. That hasn't been with us for a long time. And essentially what smicha was, we see from the first act of smicha, which was Moshe Rabbeinu putting his hands on Yeshua and doing smicha. Essentially he's leaning on his head. But the Torah says that he is transferring of his holy consciousness into Yeshua, and Yeshua brings that on. So essentially there's this transfer of power, okay? So now we have smicha again with korbanot, right? A person would do something wrong, they would feel badly about it, they say, I need to fix this, I'm getting an animal, I'm bringing an animal. The first thing they would do in the Beit HaMikdash, they would do this thing called smicha. They would put all of their strength on the animal and lean on the animal, okay? So they were first doing this admission of guilt, and then they were putting their koch. So I saw in Likutei Moharan that Rabbi Nachman explains that essentially what causes us to sin is what he calls the koch hamedame. Koch hamedame is the power of imagination. In other terms, it's called the desire for excess. A lot of times we think of ourselves a little bit as, split personalities. We want to do good, we want to do this, that's considered bad, but it's all us, right? But the Gemara doesn't say that. Gemara says a person doesn't actually do an avera unless nichnas bo ruach shtut, which literally means that a spiritual energy comes into a person and propels an individual to do such an action. Now that doesn't take away responsibility because we invite that in, right? It's us who are making a house for that foreign spirit. Whether we do good or whether we do bad, right? We're either bringing in, powerful light energy, from the side of holiness or from the side of impurity. So now what's happening with the korban? So we're leaning on this animal, and the animal represents, right, animal desires. So when you lean on the animal, there is a transference of this animal energy that we invited in, and that spiritual force that caused us to do this avera is being transferred to the animal, and subsequently the animal is shechted and the tikkun is done. So essentially that's a little bit of an insight into the avoda of what was happening here in the Beit HaMikdash, this spiritual purification that was happening through these actions that we don't have today, but with God's help we'll have again soon.